was like, how do I define emotional trauma for myself? Does anybody have any guesses?
I think it could be anything that you find in yourself that triggers those feelings. Anything from seeing something that almost happened to your kid, or driving down the road and something almost happened to you. Something
Right. Well, that was like really, that's perfect, because where I was gonna correct anybody that I don't have to correct you, is basically that it's a subjective thing. And so whenever you go through something that is life-changing in a really quick, unexpected way, your neurons that are normally firing your normal autopilot life, and then the fact that everything you normally do, you're used to and you know about, everything changes. And so somebody dies or something happens, and it just changes your entire outlook on truth. And your neurons have to rebuild, and your ideas about who you are in life have to start over and get to know themselves again. And all of that accounts for what trauma ends up, or it usually looks like, is somebody's account of having to relearn everything about life, and the symptoms that go along with what that looks like. So I counted, there's like 16 people in here that haven't heard my story, and I know a lot of you have, but I'm just going to recount my story real quick just so everybody can hear it, and how it gave me an edge in the field that I'm in now. So also the BNI webcast thing said that 3 phases of a relationship was know me, like me, and trust me. So I figured I'd start with know me, and then you can decide about the like part. Okay, so 4.5 years ago, I drove here with my 3-year-old and my 6-month-old. After 2 weeks before that, finding who I thought was my best friend and love of my life husband in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I walked into the garage and I found him shooting up heroin. And I don't play that game, so I left 2 weeks later. I don't remember that 2 weeks at all, but I had a big support system. Everybody came and rallied and helped me and the kids. And with trash bags in the car full of clothes, we moved here because my parents live in Boulder, so it took us about 3 days to drive because I was breastfeeding. And then I had just got into PA school, and so I had to deny that application or the acceptance because that new world, new route, right? So that was my trauma, and I knew a bunch about medical stuff at that point, and I was attracted to the scariness of EMT world. So I became an EMT for a year, and that was where I kind of found my calling. And it was through calls where a patient would be going through something so horrible. I just got hit by a car, I'm laying on the ground, I don't know what's wrong with me, I can't walk, what's happening? She needs to calm down, because if she doesn't, like, her blood pressure's gonna go up, her pulse is gonna go up, and things are gonna be not okay. Erica, you're good at it, calm her down. And I ended up being this go-to emotional support EMT, and that just ended up being my role. And so it was almost like surprise to me. It's almost like they noticed it before I did, but I realized, and then I wondered why I was so good all of a sudden. Like, I had a superpower. It's like that Spider-Man story, but like cuter. But that's my new superpower that I got, and so I was able to just right away meet a stranger in the middle of trauma, and because I was going through trauma myself, it was like this thing, and it was immediately, it was like, I'm here, I'm with you, I'm not leaving you, let's breathe with me. And I watched myself, and I was like, damn, I'm really good at this is crazy. And but I remembered in my own trauma how emotionally isolating it is when people try to meet you and come with you into your brain, but like it's not available, and it's not open to somebody who's, I guess, doesn't have X-ray vision. And so it ends up being really sweet that everybody tries, but nobody really can. So it ends up being really isolating. So I was aware of a void that really was useful to be filled during my trauma. And then I all of a sudden realized through being an EMT that I had the ability now to fill that void in others. And so it really became a life passion of mine to help other people that had gone into trauma. started social work school, got my master's in social work, started a private practice. And of course, in the meantime, I want to become a role model, right? So I studied families and children and all that stuff too, so I could double up with the awesome businesswoman and awesome mom too. And I think that I have an edge on other social workers, and I think that I have a different approach, and it's that a lot of social workers don't join their clients. They listen, and they're authoritative, and they have a lot of boundaries with any sort of self-disclosure. And I'm like, cut the bullshit. I want to get really real and help people understand that like being a human is okay, and that we all can get through all the little human bumps, and it makes you better and stronger. There's some Buddhist or Chinese thing where I was talking about at the party. It was like, what was it? It was like if something breaks, then they fill the gaps with gold, and so because it's broken, it actually breaks open and becomes more valuable in that case. And I really believe that about humans, like so much. And so think that, and so I do individual counseling sessions, and I have an office in Boulder and Westminster on Tuesdays. But my ideal client's 11 to 24, but I see a lot of individuals, I see a lot of parents. And I think that the common compliment that I get is that I'm really relatable and real and open, and I really I have that ability to just join them in whatever they're in and walk them through it. And with experience, they can trust me, because telling them that I've been through it before and having that bond, it feels so much less isolating, and that lack of isolation helps them gain strength that they need to know that there's a way out. And there is. So if you can have them call me, I care so much. And that's it. Erica Hubbard, Licensed Social Worker.